he talked about the three basins. So the lower basin, if you will, if you imagine a stack of three cups, one on top of another, the lower basin is the Jing, okay, the Qi, and the Shen. And they're like teacups. And if you fill one of the teacups, what will happen is that the other teacups, let's say we fill this one on the top, if we fill this with tea, eventually it will begin to run over and it'll fill the next teacup until it goes to the brim, and so on and so forth. And in this cycle, if I were to fill the bottom teacup, it will fill the next one upwards, and so on, right? The idea is that you end up with all three of these teacups filled, your Jing, your Qi, and your Shen. So Jing essence, how does this build Jing essence? Okay, it takes a great deal of body material, I guess you'd say, a great deal of energy and body material in order to create what's called essence in the physical form, which is sperm. And if you think about what that means, is that this is kind of a terrible way to put it, but it means that the lower cup, the Jing cup, okay, doesn't just mean sperm. You don't just have to fill up on sperm. What you have to do is you have to have a very strong, healthy body. And if you have a strong, healthy body, your essence will be strong, if that makes sense. Okay, so if you look at like the typical Kung Fu person, martial arts person, their Jing essence is very strong because they're young fighters. They're 25 years old and they're in good shape, right? So they've got good sexual power and they have good power as well. Now the Shen, right, Jing Qi Shen, the top one, is the spiritual or mental part of this whole thing. And what that is when you're practicing your meditations, you're doing things like learning things, education, sciences, arts, whatever. You're refining your mind, the ephemeral part of yourself, right? The thing you can't touch. That builds Shen. And again, if you build enough Shen, it will trickle over into Qi and into the Jing. So if you get this working, what will happen is the Qi one, the middle one, everybody's always concerned about, is the relationship between the mind and the body. So I have to fill up the mind and the body to fill up the Qi, if you will. So if I don't have a strong, healthy body, and I understand, and I never get taught the practices, and I don't know what's going on, the chances of me having Qi are very low. So Lohan is trying to take this all into consideration. That's why it's got a sitting form, a standing form,